Welcome back to another opportunity to just let your authentic self out, to come to this space that is safe, where you can just allow yourself to be who you truly want to be and release the weight of past conditionings, of how we were taught to believe, how we were taught to show up, and take off the masks that we have been taught to wear, so that we can really be in that place of that peace and that place of personal power. And that's what we're here to do. We're here to learn, unlearn, grow, and evolve together. And typically I would trim up a little bit, maybe make my hair a little bit nicer than it is now, but I was just way too excited to share today's message with you. A message that I have been sharing with myself a lot over the past few months. And that simple message is, this core message for this video is, the meaning that we put on our suffering determines the quality of our lives. Again, the meaning that we assign to our suffering determines the quality of our lives. And so essentially what I mean by this is that when we have challenges come up in our lives, when we have problems come up in our lives, when we have confusion or pain arrive in our lives, in whatever form it takes, we have two roads that we can take when it comes, right? The first road is reactivity. We could become reactive to whatever this challenge is and start to identify with it, start to believe that this challenge is holding us back from living the life that we want to live. It's plaguing our lives. It's keeping us down. It's not letting us live the relationships the way that we want to. It's not letting us live the work that we want to live. And it's just holding us back from really having the quality of the life that we want. We could begin identifying with it, becoming insecure in ourselves because of it, and letting it really run our lives, right? Letting it be the puppet master of our actions. Again, it taking control of our lives. Whereas the second way to show up to these challenges, this pain, this suffering, is instead of reactivity, it's responsiveness, of going about it consciously. And so what that looks like is when the challenge arrives, when that pain is in our bodies, when the emotions are flying like they have been for me, right? We could choose to look at it as actually this problem, this challenge, this pain, this confusion. It is a portal into learning about ourselves and learning or unlearning pieces that are no longer serving us, so that we may allow them to be shed, to work through them, so that this challenge is actually helping us to live the quality of life that we want to live. It is pointing us in the direction of what we need to work through in order to live that quality of life that we want to live. Whether it be within our relationships, whether it be in our personal lives, whether it be in the work that we're doing within our lives. We could look at it from the point of this is taking us and it's taking away from our quality of life, it's holding us back, it's plaguing us. Or we could look at it as, wow, okay, another challenge. It's pointing to a part of myself that maybe needs to be unlearned, to be shed, or perhaps it's pointing to something that I could level up in. And it's just, in general, it is an opportunity for us to grow. And Tony Robbins has this quote that I will never forget. It's one of the first quotes I came across on my own self-development journey. And that is, life is not happening to us. Life is happening for us, right? And if you really look at that quote, what he's saying there is that everything that comes into our experience is an opportunity to come deeper into ourselves, to shift it in a way that is going to empower our lives and to have that quality of life that we want. Everything is an opportunity. It's happening for us. It's just a matter of sitting with it and using it and having that space with it to be able to see, where is it pointing us? How is it pointing us? Where are we leveling up to? What is it teaching us about ourselves? And that is where that meaning really begins to empower the quality of our lives rather than take away from the quality of lives. Again, whether we're being reactive or we're being responsive. And so the reason that I bring this up is because I've been going through a lot of my own personal things over these past few months. I've got a lot on my plate, and therefore I've had a lot in my mind. I've been getting confused and twisted up and feeling my own pain and some suffering within my mind. And so sometimes I find myself getting caught up in that reactivity, thinking, oh my gosh, like if only this wasn't a part of my experience, like my life would be so much better. If only that this pain wasn't here, I'd be able to connect in my relationship with so much more connection, clarity, and intimacy. And then I catch myself and I'm like, okay, actually, this pain, this suffering, these things that are coming up within my body, these triggers, they are actually opportunities for me to become deeper in myself, because these triggers are pointing to a part of myself that actually needs to be let go of, that needs to be unlearned, so that I can come deeper into my authentic self and begin to learn other ways of being able to show up within my relationship, or other ways of being able to show up within my work. And most of these answers, they're all right within here, right? So there's a lot of uncovering of what's already here, that confidence that already exists, that power, that peace that already exists. And then there's also the learning. So the practices, of course, that we speak about on the rest of my videos around how we can come into having the practices to come back to the core self, or just having the practices to, work through specific triggers and certain anxieties that are coming up for us. And I'm going to go an even step further here. And I'm going to share with you this book that has also changed my life significantly and taught me a lot. And that is The Man's Search for Meaning. And this is by a gentleman named Viktor Frankl. And he was in the Nazi death camps in the Holocaust, right? And what he did is he was a psychiatrist before he even went into the Nazi death camps, before the Holocaust became what it was. And what he ended up doing is, within the experiences, the absolutely terrible, insidious experiences of the Holocaust and of these death camps, witnessing things that humans should not have to witness, he took that suffering and he told himself that he was going to use this as an opportunity to transform psychology and bring what meaning means into life. And he transformed that suffering that we're talking about here into being able to transform people's lives. Ever since this book was published, probably sometime in the late 1940s, 1950s, a book that has stood the test of time, all speaking about how we can shift, how we perceive our suffering into something that could really be empowering for us to take that next step forward in really being able to have that quality of life that we want, right? Because at the end of the day, these challenges, this pain, this suffering, it's simply molding us into the person that we want to be, if we can view it that way. Using it as an opportunity rather than looking at it as a detriment to our lives. And so the question that I want to ask you simply is, where are you experiencing challenge and pain right now? And then as you have maybe this written out in your journal, or you sit with it and you think about it and you feel it, asking yourself, what meaning can I apply to this suffering that will empower me in my life going forward? What meaning can I assign to this suffering that will empower my life going forward? And being able to journal on this, being able to go on a walk and think about this, and being able to feel what it would feel like with this meaning applied to what it is that we are going through right now. And that will, at least it does for me, that will empower that next step forward with an energy that you might have not experienced before. Because I'll tell you for myself, when I get caught up in being reactive versus being, in that place of consciously responding, there's a massive energy shift where in one place I just feel dark and I kind of feel a little bit despair, I kind of feel a little bit hopelessness. In the other place, I'm like, let's go. How can I take this and just help me be that much of a better version of myself and uncover that version inside of myself that already knows that confidence, that peace, and that power. And the last thing that I'm going to share with you here is that this is a practice, right? So taking those small steps to have this visual on consciously responding to our suffering and applying an empowering meaning to it versus reacting and identifying and getting, lost or feeling like this challenge is a detriment. This is a practice that we will start to do one step at a time, and we'll find that as we do it more and more, it'll be easier to look at our challenges and our suffering from this lens with much more ease and feeling that energy and that empowering energy much more frequently. And so as always, I encourage you to share this with me. I encourage you to share that with all the other people who are coming together to watch these videos so that we can really learn, grow, and evolve together. And you could share some of the things that maybe you are working to and the meaning that you're applying to them within the comments below. And if you want to share on more of a private setting, feel free to message me through Instagram and we could talk about these things. How can we apply meaning to this specific experience within your life? How can we empower you, right? And I'm excited to see what comes alive for you, and I would love to share myself with you guys as well within these conversations. So I'm looking forward to seeing you in the comments or on Instagram. And aside from that, I love to get the community together. So every Sunday morning at 9 a.m. Eastern Time, New York time, we get together for an hour and we practice guided meditation led by myself. We talk a little bit after, see where people are at, what they learn, what insights might have come about, and really feeling supported by community while we're going through our own experiences. And that just livens me up as well to feel that, you're not alone in this journey. Just look at the views. There's other people going through this as well. So I'm looking forward to seeing you there. And the last thing that I'll mention is that if you want to pull, some of these tools that we talk about in all these different YouTube videos together in a personalized way, I have just recently, over the past month, graduated from my coaching course. And I am so happy to announce that I am offering one-on-one coaching now. So you can just contact me through Instagram, comments below, and we could have a conversation about it. And otherwise, I am looking forward to reading your answers. I am looking forward to seeing you within the next video. And let's just continue to bring this authentic self out and live from that place of internal peace and knowing and that power to live the life that we want to be living. Much, much, much love. Ciao.